Hello. Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North. Whoa. And I am joined by Jose Gomes and Mr. Gil Santos. I was away for a little bit, but I am back just to talk about week 17 as we get to the end of the season. 2 weeks left. We got playoff matches. We got playoff implications. We have a lot of good and bad quarterback play. I missed a few weeks, but I'm just going to talk about last week's games. Gil and Jose, are you ready?
Of course.
The records. I'm not going to say the exact records. I will say that Gil has a 5-game lead. Jose and I are 1 game apart right now. And we will post the records and the picks after the show if you happen to miss anything.
He has a 4-game lead.
We'll confirm that after. But I think he has a 5-game lead, but we'll confirm that after before I post the show, guys. Now, this is week 17, which means all the games are on Sunday. No Saturday, no Thursday, which means if you got a pools ticket, even if you want to think, even if you're feeling lucky, play one because it's going to pay big because every team is playing. No bye weeks. Okay. Now we're going to get into there's a few easy games and a few good games, and there's a Gil panic game. And then there's our team, which needs to win, and we'll get into that. Now, we're going to start with the Atlanta Falcons, who are a disaster. They're pretty much out of the playoffs. They're going to face the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen, who have taken back the AFC East lead after beating New England in New England. Josh Allen, who I have been all over all year and was the pick of Jose and Gil for MVP, finally had a big game against a good team. It's the first time I watched him and said, that looks like an MVP. He took care of Bill Belichick's defense, and the Bills took care of the fraud that is Matt Jones. Yeah, you heard what I said, Leo. He's a fraud. Unless New England gets ahead, he can't play. Plain and simple. If you're asking him to come back from a big lead, guess what he's going to do? He's going to throw picks because he can't throw the football down the field. He has no arm strength. So all these people getting excited about Matt Jones, he's not that good. Anyway, let's pick this game because it's going to take us about 2 seconds. Does everyone have Buffalo in this game?
Yep.
Yes.
What do you guys think of Josh Allen last week? Were you impressed?
I was. He got hot at the perfect timing. There's 2 weeks left to the playoffs. He got hot. See how he ended that game? He's like, who does New England think I was?
I think his running ability really messes teams up because they're looking at this 6'6" tree and they're like, how does this guy run like this? And the next thing you know, he's got almost 100 yards and you can't stop him on 3rd down. So that's, and he was very accurate and very good. He did miss some throws, but he did enough to win. Jose, this the Josh Allen you expected?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. He has had bad games during the season, but last week he played a good game, and they finally started rushing the ball.
Yes,
that was the downfall.
The mixture helped. Yes,
of course. Once you start running the ball, it opens up the passing game to them, and that's their strength is their passing game. But if they can start rushing the ball, and like you said, New England, Mac Jones, when he's down, they're not going to come back.
Yeah,
he's not a quarterback to throw down the field. He's like a little short pass quarterback. Their game is the running game, and Buffalo stopped them their running game. So that's why Buffalo won that game. But like I told you, I thought it was always gonna be a split. I thought Buffalo was gonna win in Buffalo and New England at home, but it was the opposite. But Buffalo is the better team, and they proved that out last weekend.
I think the AFC is wide open. I don't think there's a favorite despite Kansas City's recent run. I think it's completely wide open, and any one of the 6 teams that are currently in the playoffs could end up in the Super Bowl. That's how wide open I think it is in the AFC. But we'll get to all the other teams after. To a game that doesn't matter at all and is just a game to play out the string. The G-Men, who might be the worst run team in the NFL right now, are playing the Chicago Bears, who somehow Jose picked with Nick Foles last week and got a win in the snow. I don't know if he's playing again, but Nick Foles, baby, he's still got it going.
Yeah, Jose? He's going to play. He's going to play, and they're going to win again this weekend. And it's just the problem is with Chicago, they have a good, solid defense. The problem is their offense. Their offense is the one that
They
screwed
got
them
no
up all
line.
season.
They got no line,
They-
Jose. They got no
Offensive
line.
line, yeah, they got no offensive line, absolutely. And but their defense is like one of the best defenses in the league.
Even
They've
without
they've
Mac, which is surprising.
yeah, exactly. So it's just their offense that's been putting down the team. But their overall team, when they get everything clicking, they're a half decent team. They're a 500 team. But I like Chicago in this.
Okay.
I just think the Giants have too many injuries and they're garbage. So
Gil, the G-men somehow found a way to play Jake Fromm last week. Jake Fromm.
That's because they probably have Ted Lasso as their coach. Did he
It's
come?
a disaster.
I don't know. Like,
and then after that atrocity of Jake Fromm starting, they brought in Mike Glennon, who was a bigger disaster for the last 2 weeks. And then after the game, they came out and said they're going to keep the coach and the QB. I don't understand. I don't understand. But I got the Bears. Gil, who do you got? This is what a disaster the G-men are.
Yeah, Folds playing. I like the Bears. I would have took, if I knew Folds was actually playing last week, I would probably took the Bears too. The only thing about Folds is a thrower.
That's
and
it.
Fields still young. He's running around. He's still find himself. And Nick Foles is a thrower. Yeah. That's what Chicago needs to get that offense going, is a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Chicago.
Yeah, I think Fields will be fine, but he needs a different line, a different coaching staff. They need a system that works with him. And Nagy's system is a pocket quarterback, and that's why it worked with Foles.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but is that picture behind you of the 1967 Stanley Cup?
No, this is my dad and myself at the Hall of Fame when I was like 9-10 years old, years ago at the CNE.
Oh, wishing that you was the Leafs.
Yeah, you can tell by my dad's afro that he's much younger.
Yeah.
So, and my mushroom haircut going on there with makeup on. That's because they face painted my face. So that's a very old picture back in the Hall of Fame before they moved it from the CNE. So I thought I'd put that in the background. So thanks for that, Gil. To the game of the week, in my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are red hot. I think their opposition has been questionable, but they are red hot. They go to play the Cincinnati Bengals, who are beating up on the AFC North, but also have some question marks. Joe Burrow threw for over 500 yards and basically said, "Here I am, NFL. Here I am, AFC North. We're taking over." Gil, who do you have in the game of the week?
Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Jose.
This one was hard to pick. They're both playing very well lately. Kansas City is on the winning streak, but I like Cincy at home. I think Cincy has more to lose in this game than KC, and they're playing at home.
You're doing it again, Jose. You're doing it again. You haven't learned all fucking year. I've been telling you, every time Cincinnati has a fucking big game, the next week they're a fucking disaster and you get drilled. And it's gonna happen again. So you take your stupid Cincinnati.
And KC is due for a loss. So, and I think it's gonna be against Cincinnati. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with Gil on this one. Every time Cincinnati's expected to do well, they lose a game at home to the Chargers or to Pittsburgh or somebody like that. They lose, they get drilled at home. So the Jets. I'm going to take Kansas City because I trust them more than the Bengals. As simple as that. To the Tannehill revenge game. That's right. Ryan Tannehill is going to play his old team, the Miami Dolphins. I imagine he's going to be quite pumped up for this one. The Dolphins are the first team in NFL history to lose 7 in a row and then win 7 in a row. They just gave it to Ian Book, Jose's boy. 8 sacks, drilled him, hung him out to dry. Sean Payton should be ashamed of himself, what they did to that kid. He will not be playing this week, thank God, the poor kid. Who you got in this one, Jose? Miami at Tennessee.
I like Miami in this one. I think they're on a good winning streak and they need to win to keep in the playoff race. So I like Miami, and I think Miami's defense is playing solid, and they'll pressure Tannehill. The last week the Titans had no. They shouldn't even have had a chance of winning that game. The Niners should.
Yeah, why did they win the game, Jose? Why did they win the game? Why did they win the game?
AJ Brown.
No,
okay.
That's
all I gotta say.
INTs.
No. AJ Brown is good, Gil. But let's hear from Jose why they won the game.
Because of 2 INTs by Jimmy G.
That's right. Because San Francisco had
absolutely.
complete control of that game, and Jimmy G threw it away. That's why his ass should be on the bench, and it should be Lance Mania time.
And what did I just finish saying? They should have had no chance of staying in that game. That they should have been blown out at halftime. Okay. But it is what it is. Okay. So, and AJ Brown is back. So that's another big
they couldn't stop him. The 49ers could not stop AJ Brown.
That's their weakness in the 49ers.
Yeah, their secondary sucks. Their secondary sucks.
So, yeah. But anyways, I like Miami in this one. I think they're going to keep their winning streak alive.
Okay, Gil, I'm going to take Tennessee. I expect Tannehill to get major revenge against this old team. Tennessee, to me, if they get everyone healthy, might be the most dangerous team in the AFC that no one's talking about. Their record against plus 500 teams this year is 5-0, and that's when they're healthy. If they get healthy, they might surprise the whole AFC. So I got Tennessee in this one. Gil, who do you got?
I agree. I'm, great for Miami, but I think all the snowflake lovers, it stops now. Miami's going to go back to Miami. Snowflakes, it's a Dolphin. Last time the Dolphins were great, they had Dan Marino. Ever since that till today, they've always sucked. They have sucked. I've known the Dolphins, they stink. They're going to go back. They're not getting that last playoff spot. There's better teams. It's going to stop. And you're right. And if they do get Henry back, this team's very dangerous.
Okay. To the Las Vegas Raiders, I don't know what one of the most unpredictable teams in the NFL. They're playing the Indianapolis Colts in Indy with an MVP candidate in Jonathan Taylor. The formula is simple for Indy: give the ball to Taylor, avoid mistakes, let the defense play good, and they win games. If they do it the other way around, they lose. I got Indy. Gil, who do you got?
It's a tight game. Vegas is a hard team to figure out. 1 week they play good, 1 week they play bad. Sometimes they play medium. Indy's on the high right now. Jonathan Taylor's great. I don't think Vegas will stop them at home. Even if Taylor does slow down a bit, Carson Wentz will throw him the play action. It's been working for them too. So I'm going to go with Indy at home.
Jose.
I like Indy in this one, but the problem is Carson Wentz is on the COVID list thing. So, and he's not vaccinated. So the problem is I don't know if he's going to play. And if he doesn't play, it's going to be the Jake Ellinger from Texas, the rookie quarterback. So Indy should win this game, but it's not going to be easy. But I think in Indy in this.
Well, in that case, Frank Reich should pull a Belichick and run the ball 50 times.
Oh, absolutely. That's
and
what
they'll
I'm
still
saying.
win. So, I mean, okay, so we all got Indy there. To a game that we're not going to talk about too much other than Mac Jones. Jacksonville's at New England. Guys, I honestly, there's no question who we're taking here, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all got New England. Mac Jones should have no problem in this game. But as I've said, there's been a lot of praise about him. I don't think he's that good. I really don't think he's that good. I think he's in a good system right now with a good running game and a good defense, and he's not being asked to do too much. And when he is asked to do too much, he looks like an average quarterback. So they're going to win this game. They're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they're a threat in the playoffs. In fact, I think they might be second worst or worst playoff team in the conference, especially if they're on the road. So we'll see what happens with that. To a game that we're not going to spend too much time on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with MVP candidate, the GOAT, Tom Brady, who probably won't win now because of his New Orleans loss. Aaron Rodgers will probably win the MVP now. We'll get to that after. Jonathan Taylor has an outside shot. They're going to play the Jets. I don't think anyone's stupid enough to take the Jets in this game. So who do you guys got?
Tampa.
I mean, even Gil, who wants them to lose so he can get the 1 seed, is not going to take the Jets. So that's it for that game, guys. I mean, the Jets are a disaster. Tampa Bay's going for the 1 seed. To a game that I know Gil's going to want to talk about, the Philadelphia Eagles, who will not win the division, but Gil was correct about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles being a threat for the playoffs. They're going to take on what's left of Washington. I mean, Heineke got hit in the head by Dallas, and then I don't know what happened to him. And then Kyle Allen's on the COVID list, and then they got players swiping each other on the bench. Like they're just falling apart at the seams. That team.
Yeah, they're knocking each other out.
Yeah. So when you're down 42-3 at the half to a rival, yeah, you're going to start punching each other. I got the Eagles. They can make the playoffs, and they probably will as the 7th seed. Hurts is okay. He's not great, but he does enough and leads. He's been leading the team to victories. The jury's still out on him, but he's sometimes really bad and sometimes really good. But they'll beat Washington because Washington's falling apart. I got the Eagles. Jose.
I like the Eagles as well. I think they're going to be fighting with the Niners for the playoffs, for the last two playoff spots, and Washington, like you guys said, they're in shambles. But it's like one of those games that you get blown out, and then the next week they'll come out hard and try to. But I think
don't give me that story because you're just contradicting yourself. I just told you about Cincinnati and you didn't do it. So now don't start saying, "Oh, they got blown out. They're going to come back and win now."
I didn't say they're going to win. I just said it's going to be a competitive game. Did I say they're going to win? I took Philly to win. So don't worry about it.
All Philly needs to be better is having another wide receiver too. I still don't know why they didn't get that guy another wide receiver too.
They also need Hurts to be more consistent, Gil. I think he's inconsistent with his.
But he's on his own. He has no.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand.
Who's the guy they're throwing to again? Jose, what's his name again?
Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And what about the tight end that Goddard?
They got rid of Hurt. They got rid of what's his name to Arizona.
Goddard needs to lose some weight. He's too fat.
Yeah, he's too fat. But he's been catching touchdowns, and for them, look who's been passing the ball. Who's been throwing touchdowns to. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts not been doing everything by himself, so don't get all excited.
Jose, don't get defensive because I'm the only one that believed in this team. Okay, you guys didn't believe in this.
Exactly.
No, I thought Hurts. I like Hurts. No, I like Hurts.
Who did I say was going to win the division? Dallas. Didn't they win the division? I thought so. Yeah. So don't worry about it. But you can pick your Philly.
I know Dallas is going to win the division, but you said Philly was shit. They're not shit.
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Hurts, like I said, Philly's inconsistent, just like Hurts. That's why they're 7-7 or 7-8, whatever their record.
Philly's gonna take you guys right out of that playoffs, and I'm not gonna see you guys in the playoffs.
We'll see. You want to bet the Niners make the playoffs? Because all they need to do is just win against Houston, and then they're the playoffs. So just let you know.
We'll get to that game, boys.
We'll see.
They have the head-to-head, and they have to head against Philadelphia, just to let you, in case you want to know too.
We'll get to that. They also have the head-to-head against Minnesota.
No,
so
I know what I'm going to be watching at 4:00, not the prime time. I'm going to be watching that San Fran because to you make it sound like they're going to kill Houston.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be easy, but we'll get to that.
Don't worry about the Niners. Worry about your Packers.
We'll get to those games, boys. We'll get to those games.
Green Bay made the playoffs in weeks 5 or 6. Jose.
Yeah, I know because they have a shit division. That's the problem.
Yeah. What division, bro? They're the number. I don't know. Let's go look at it again. Hold on. You have to. Let's see if we remind you.
Look at your shit division.
No, hold on. Overall, what does it say? Who's number one in the
Packers
NFL?
Are one. The Packers are one.
NFL, Jose. So be quiet.
So what? What does that have to do with it? Because you have a shit division. Look at the Lions, the Bears,
they're the number one team in the NFL. Okay, and that's it.
We'll talk about the Packers when we get to that game, boys, and I'll be fair with the Packers. They have some concerns, but we'll talk about the Packers. To the LA Rams, who have a quarterback problem. Kirk Cousins, you suck. You want to know why you suck? You had no business losing that game after Stafford disaster threw 3 picks. You should have won that game, but the Rams won because Minnesota has Cousins at quarterback. He threw 3 picks. He was awful, but the Rams won because they got a good defense and they have weapons on offense. But I'll tell you this, the Rams, you got a problem at quarterback. That guy throws too many picks. It's the same guy who was in Detroit. Having said that, Baltimore has no quarterback, so I got the Rams. Gil?
Yeah, the Rams are winning the game. I think they're making the push for the playoffs. Baltimore, I don't know.
They had Josh Johnson at quarterback last week. I don't know who's playing for them. And then Lamar Jackson is practicing with a limp. Yeah, so I don't know what's happening. And then your boy Huntley almost beat you. I think he's on the COVID list. So, Jose?
I got the Rams as well. Just too many injuries and too many guys are out on COVID for the Ravens. So
you got the Rams, right, Gil?
The Rams, yeah.
Okay. To a team that Gil, how many years have we been saying it? San Diego shitty Chargers. The most inconsistent team in the NFL in the last decade has been the LA Chargers. And you don't ever know what you're going to get out of this team from week to week. They got blown out by the Texans. And when I say blown out, 42 points they allowed to the Houston Texans. David Mills or whatever his name is. Okay. I don't
Remember
know
that name, Jose. Remember that name.
David Mills, 42 points on this
I
team.
will, don't worry.
Justin Herbert threw 2 picks. The coach has done a good job. That Houston team, they got 4 or 5 wins, and I don't know how. But then anyway, Denver goes there. They have no quarterback. They go to the Chargers in a huge game for the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers because they have to win. They're at home. It's a little bit of a revenge game. I expect Herbert to rebound. And because Denver has no QB, I think the Chargers will find a way to win this game, but I don't trust them at all. Gil, who do you got in this one?
Yeah, San Diego's offense is more powerful. Denver.
What happened to their defense, Gil? The Chargers' defense is falling apart.
Yeah, but Denver only has a little bit. Like Denver can't hold on anymore either. They got Drew Lock coming in. Who knows? He might fluke one off.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that bad, right? But then you have Gordon and Williams in the back too. So
yeah.
But the Chargers played really bad last week, so I think they rebound this week. They're at home and they need to win. I think they'll beat Denver.
Jose.
I like the Chargers too, but last week there were a lot of guys on their defense that were on the COVID list, like Joey Bosa, and they're like all their linebackers.
Yeah, but you can't allow 42 points to the Texans. That's bad.
Hey man, I mean, when you have half of your freaking defensive team out,
and Herbert played bad. Herbert was bad.
He threw a couple of picks.
Yeah.
He threw 1 pick six. He threw a couple of picks in the red zone.
Yeah,
that's his problem. He forces the ball sometimes.
Yeah.
When he shouldn't be forcing the ball. But
that's a bad loss for them, even with the guys.
They're an inconsistent team, like you guys were saying. Like, but hopefully this week they'll come back and get their defensive players back and they'll win the game against Denver.
All right, let's get into the next game. It's finally happened. At least I think it has, although reports have got me a little nervous about this. The end of Jose G, a.k.a. Jimmy G. After that horrific display against the Tennessee Titans, his 3rd straight second half where he hasn't scored a touchdown. How many quarterbacks get to play that are on a contending team that don't score a touchdown for 3 straight games in the second half? A disaster of a quarterback. Not only that, he had guys wide open for touchdowns that he missed. He had Juszczyk wide open, overthrew him. The interception, complete overthrow. So instead of being up 14-0, you're up 10-0, and the Texans hang around, and then he does his usual job of stinking in the second half. Now all of a sudden he's hurt. I don't think he's hurt. I think Kyle's had enough and wants Lance Media to start. Having said that, they should beat Houston. And if they don't beat Houston, then they ought to fire everybody, including the quarterback. I got San Fran, but believe you me, I agree with Gil on this one. I'm worried about this game. Jose, I know who you got. Gil, who do you got?
You know what? This is the game I wanted to take the opposite, but because I'm in the lead and I don't want to ruin it, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go with San Fran by a field goal. But don't be surprised if Texas win this game.
If Jimmy G starts this game, I'm worried. I'm telling you right now, because Houston, they're a tricky team. They already went to Tennessee. You know what? Houston won in Tennessee. Houston won in Tennessee, and we can't win in Tennessee. So, listen, I don't know. Jose, I know who you got. What do you think about Jose G, a.k.a. Jimmy G? Have you had enough of him? Because if you haven't learned by now, this is what he is. He's an inconsistent turnover machine who's injury prone. That's what he is.
And what are you going to do? You put Lance in. Put Lance in. That doesn't change the difference. He's still a rookie quarterback. Jimmy G is an inconsistent quarterback. That's his downfall, and that's always going to be his downfall. Like the past weeks when they were winning, he wasn't throwing any picks. He played it safe. He was throwing the ball well. And just for your information, the last 2 weeks he did score a touchdown in the second half.
He got 1 in 3 games against Tennessee, right?
Okay, but you're saying that he didn't. Right. He didn't. But he did score a touchdown.
He scored one at the end of the game when the game went to tie the game. I know what he's talking about, and that again left enough time for the other team to get a field goal.
Well, what are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do? Well, that's just the way the game is. Like,
never should have been down in the first place. San Fran dominated that game. They lost because of Jimmy G.
And what did 100%. I say to you? What did I say to you? Didn't I say that?
Okay. Don't give him excuses.
Exactly.
That was his
fault. I'm
fault.
not giving him excuses. It was his fault. He's the one who threw the 2 picks. Okay. I'm telling you, if he's consistent and he doesn't turn over the ball, the San Francisco 49ers have a chance to win the game. I've told you that since the beginning.
You got a Super Bowl roster that has a bad quarterback. This is what they are.
Exactly.
Okay? To a game that at first you would think would be the difficult one to pick. But what has happened to the Arizona Cardinals? I mean, Gil Santos' boy there, Aaron Rodgers, went in there with no receivers and beat him. And since then, they're 3-5.
Yep.
They actually have more wins with the backup than they do with Kyler Murray since his injury.
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers of last year. They went undefeated and then they started losing all their games.
You know, they lost Watt, which hurt their run defense, and Kyler Murray's been inconsistent, and they can't throw the ball with Hopkins injured. So they go to Dallas to play the Red Hot Cowboys, who might have the best defense in the NFL. They're really good. Offensively, I don't know. Dak Prescott played well last week, but their defense is went from worst to first. I don't know how, but I got the Cowboys in this one. I thought it would have been a tougher pick for me, but not this time. I got the Cowboys. Jose, what do you got?
I got the same. I told you, the Cowboys they're looking solid right now. Defensively, offensively, they're clicking. They got everybody back when they're all healthy. They're a dangerous team. And they got Lawrence back, the defensive end. He's been a menace coming out since he's come back from injury, getting sacks, getting strip fumbles, interception, pick sixes. Mm-hmm. And with him and Micah Parsons over there in that defense, watch out. When Stephon and Diggs back in the secondary, that team is dangerous. And Kyle Murray, like you said, without D-Hop, the Arizona Cardinals they don't have no passing game. AJ Green is done, and basically Connor's been hurt too, so that's a downfall for Arizona. So I like Dallas in this one.
Gil?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Dallas as well. But one thing we all know, Kyle Murray right now sitting at home, knowing if they want to be put on the map, this is the game he has to win, because no one's taking Arizona seriously anymore. He needs to win the big game, and this is the game he has to do it. But good luck to him, but I'm still going to take Dallas.
I mean, earlier in the year, they went to Tennessee and blew out the Titans, and they went to LA and blew out the Rams. I don't know what happened to this team, but injuries have taken them out, I think. To a game that, thanks you to Jose on this one, I originally thought that we have to see the remains of Cam Newton in this game, but we're going to see the remains of Sam Darnold instead, going to New Orleans. Not that it makes a difference because they're both shit. Go to New Orleans to play a rested, healthy New Orleans defense. This one will not be pretty. I got the Saints. Jose.
I got the Saints as well too, and I think I just think Sam Darnold's he's not a quarterback for the NFL. I don't think Cam Newton, they're garbage. I think they're both gone at the end of the year, and then they'll trade for somebody or pick up somebody in the draft. I think Cam Newton, I don't even know what he's doing in the NFL. That guy can't throw. He can't.
If I own the Panthers, Jose, I'm firing the GM. They gave Teddy Bridgewater $60 million. Then they traded him to go get Darnold. And then they picked up Cam Newton because Darnold was garbage. That the GM's got to go after that. That's a disaster. Gil, who do you got?
I got the Saints as well.
Would you fire the GM after that, Gil? That's a disaster.
Oh yeah, well, it depends on the people's game plan. Like Bridgewater, to me, even in Denver, what's he doing in Denver? Like Bridgewater, like Cam Newton's not really.
Well, they got Bridgewater because they wanted Aaron Rodgers, and Green Bay told him to go fly a kite. So.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying Bridgewater was bad. Darnold, you know what?
Disaster Darnold.
In Texas, did well. Came out, went into the NFL. Maybe starting off playing for the Jets wasn't the right thing either, but yeah, but Carolina's going to have to figure something out. Has to get a quarterback for their system.
To Detroit, who goes to Seattle, I got to say Detroit's played very well in the last 3 weeks. The coach has showed some fire. They go to play Seattle, who's a team in decline. Defensively, they have the worst pass defense in the NFL. The Legion of Doom is long gone. Foles took advantage of that last week. They have a quarterback who's in decline and wants out. Having said that, I have a hard time picking Detroit to win in Seattle, so I'm going to take Seattle. but my God, there could be an upset here because Seattle just doesn't have any life. But I'm taking Seattle. Gil?
Yeah, I'm going to take Seattle as well. Yeah, but and you know what? Speaking of that, Wilson's a perfect spot to go to Carolina. There's one that Carolina should get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to take Seattle.
Gil or Jose?
I'm going to take the upset here. I like Detroit. I think Seattle, they're on the downfall, and Detroit's been playing good football lately. And I'm just going to go for the upset here, and I'm taking Detroit.
To the game of the week for Gil, the Minnesota Vikings, who are the last team to beat Gil's team and Aaron Rodgers, because Kirk Cousins, I don't know what happens with Kirk Cousins, but when he plays Green Bay, he has a field day. He has a very good record and a very good touchdown to interception ratio against Green Bay. Don't ask me why. But now they got to go to Green Bay to play a team that's fighting for the first seed while Minnesota's fighting for the playoffs. Gil, why is it that Kirk Cousins has success against your team?
Because that's the game that everybody kind of needs him to win. It's a division game, and that's what Minnesota fans want to see, right? So when they play them, but especially like this next one, Green Bay has something special here. They get to keep the first place, and they get to knock out Minnesota out of the playoffs. So it's a big game for the Packers. They're in Lambeau. It'll be tough to stop Dalvin Cook. Alexander's coming back.
Yeah.
I think Bakhtiari should be coming back. I think not this week, next week. That's huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't take man. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan. I can't do it. They're at home. They're in first.
Yeah.
They have to win. It's a win-win situation. Keep first, knock out Minnesota. So they have something to play for. So I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah, we know Gil's taking the Packers. Gil, you pointed out that the Packers are number one in the NFL, and they are. Here would be my concerns. You tell me if I'm being fair or unfair. The Packers' run defense has struggled mightily for the last month. Their run defense has been terrible.
Yes, but the main guy, they have a lot of injuries on the defense, though.
I mean, they
Zadarius Smith has been gone for a long time.
Yeah, but to allow Huntley to score 31 points on your defense, that's got to be a concern. To allow a Browns team that has a quarterback who's terrible and threw 4 picks to have a chance to win the game at the end in Lambeau, that's got to be a concern. To have a coach that's still playing conservative football after the mistake he made last year in the playoffs, that would concern me. Your quarterback's great, but the rest of the team is question marks right now.
Well, LaFleur's like 40-7.
I understand.
Guy's amazing. He has an amazing record. He's on pace to beat Madden's winning percentage.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Madden.
Rest in peace to Madden. Yeah. But, LaFleur's actually on pace to beat Madden's record.
Yeah.
As the winningest coach.
The playoffs is what matters to the Packers, though, Gil.
True. But, you can't win them all. There's 32 teams.
Yeah.
It's hard to win every year. It's not a 6-team teams.
Yeah.
There's no 6 teams like the Leafs when they won 13 cups. There's only 5 teams to beat, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
because after 32 teams or 31 came in, the Leafs didn't touch a cup.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
Yeah.
And but you know what? Are they? I know what you're saying. You think their defense might hurt them in the playoffs,
right?
Yes. But which team is perfect right now that you consider them? If you take out Green Bay, which team to you is perfect? Every team has a flaw.
There's no perfect team. No. The Dallas Cowboys have the best defense in the NFL. That's the team that scares me right now in the NFC.
But Dallas offensively, Prescott can shit the bed too.
I know.
I've seen him fumble. I've seen him throw picks.
Yep.
He gets frustrated.
Yep.
He can shit the bed too,
yep.
which Rodgers won't.
Right? Tampa Bay's defense is bad.
Rodgers takes 30 games to get an interception. So,
yes, I know.
Or to fumble or whatever.
And they have a good run game, Green Bay, which helps Rodgers as well.
Yes. So now, are we horrible on defense? No, we have the best. We have one of the best. I think we are first in interceptions, actually.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
So, and we get Alexander back. So, run. We have to focus a little bit more on stopping the run. But Green Bay plays the zone. We try not to give out the big play. That's why those run plays happen.
All right, so we got a minute left. I got Green Bay. Jose, who do you got?
I like Green Bay too.
Okay, we're gonna get to the Monday nighter. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Is Baker or Ben the worst quarterback in the AFC?
They're both shit.
They're both shit. Okay, I'm taking Pittsburgh because they're at home and they got a better defense. Gil.
Me too. Taking the Steelers.
And Jose.
Cleveland.
You got Cleveland. Okay. Survivor picks and best bets. Gil.
Survivor, I'm gonna take the Bears.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take Tennessee -3.
Okay. I'm losing myself here. Jose, who do you got?
Survivor, I got San Francisco, and for the spread, I like Miami to cover the +3.
I'm gonna take the Chargers as my best bet, and Buffalo's my